Hello, Madridistas. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is that you're watching from. I'm very, very excited. Very excited because football is back. But football isn't just back. Real Madrid is back. I love watching this team. I just love watching this team. We've been looking forward to Kylian's official debut, and definitely, it did not disappoint. It wasn't what we expected, but it wasn't disappointing. It wasn't disappointing at all. Before I get into my talking points for today, a couple of house rules. Not necessarily house rules, but it would be nice if you listen to it and eventually end up doing it, right? So please like and subscribe. It helps encourage me to do more of this, and then also leave comment on what it is that you think about the game, what you do not agree with in terms of my reactions to the game, and if you don't agree with any of my talking points or you agree with it, you can also just add to it in the comment section, and you see from previous posts that I always engage. Anyway, let's get into it. My first talking point today is going to be on our style of play. That was the big question. That how are we going to play without the presence of Toni Kroos? I've read a lot of articles. I've listened to a lot of podcasts. A lot of analysts basically come up with multiple ways that Real Madrid can play, and one of the things that this sort of all agree on is the fact that because of the absence of Toni Kroos and the fact that you can only fit 11 players in the team, and the fact that you do not want to have dissenting opinions or behaviors in the dressing room, Real Madrid would have to go back to the 4-3-3. Or even if we don't go back to the 4-3-3, our playing style will become way more vertical, which means we get the ball, we do less of long passes, especially from that Toni Kroos area on the left central midfield side, or when he tucks in between the central defenders, in this case, Militao and Rudiger. But instead, we will get the ball to either to Jude, to Tramini or to Valverde, and they will most likely evade the first set of pressure and run with the ball, because that's what their strength is, not necessarily the passing that Toni Kroos, the signature diagonal passes that Toni Kroos is known for, which he use that to get us into the final third in a split second. That question was answered. And that also leads me to our performance in the first half. And why do I say it leads me to our performance in the first half? Because we were finding our feet. We spent a lot of the first half finding our feet. The players are just playing together for the first time. Yeah, especially I think Vini played 2 games. Played the game against Barcelona in preseason and the one against Chelsea. Rodrigo did not play against Barcelona, but he played against Chelsea. We have Tramini, we had Mbappe, we had Felamendi, we had Bellingham, we had Valverde, and we had Carvajal joining after preseason. So they've not had a game under their belt, and after that they've had like 5 training sessions before the Super Cup game we just had against Atalanta. So I would not read too much into the performance in the first half in terms of being consistent and figuring out what Real Madrid is going to look like into the future. You can see a lot of that in the second half, right? They needed to get rustiness out of the way in the initial space, and the one person that looked like okay, he did not skip a beat in a way in the first half was Vinicius Junior. he was going at the defenders every time and chance he got. There were some unnecessary touches and mistakes, and he lost the ball in some really weird areas. But other than that, he was our most threatening player on the pitch. But the second half totally changed. While we had a flat 4-3-3 formation, especially on the ball in the first half, it was a bit different in the second half because we took part into like a 4-4-2, but not the diamond 4-4-2. The 4-4-2 that the kind of 4-4-2 that Ancelotti used when I think was it yes, when Tchouaméni and Camavinga were injured, where he played Toni Kroos and Federico Valverde, and then had Jude and who else was there? Had Jude and someone else right behind Rodrigo and Vini. I think Jude and Brahim also. Jude and Brahim also. Yeah, I don't necessarily remember right now. But that was how we played in the second half. I am going to talk about Jude, like that's sort of like one of my last talking points, but it was an amazing performance from the team as a whole in the second half, right? I'll start with Vini. I told you, Vini has a propensity to go at you. Vini does not stop. Vini is like a goat that you say, oh, stop doing this or don't go here, and he doesn't listen to you. He still comes at you with ferociousness, with very, very functional play, with explosiveness. He comes at you, and before you could say A, B, he's gone. Before you even figure out how to mark him, he's gone. And great composure from him to still, after beating the defender, after getting the ball from Jude, to then beat the defender. He basically waited. The other defender in front of him was already on the floor, and he served it on a platter for Federico Valverde to tap in. What an amazing goal. And that sort of opened the floodgates of attack. Before I even get into the floodgate of attack, I need to talk about the save that Courtois made that could have made us go one goal down. I don't know what would have happened. Maybe we'll rally round, get an equalizer, and eventually win the game. But the one thing that I also wanted us to avoid very, very early in the season is having to play penalty shootouts. Because after 90 minutes for the Super Cup, there's no extra time. You go straight to penalty. Then it just basically opened the floodgates, and that's when Jude Bellingham take over. I know, yes, I'm tempted to actually start talking about Jude right now, but I won't. I will wait. Let's go to Courtois and let's analyze his performance, and then we'll move to the defense, then the middle, still excluding Jude, and then we'll end up with Jude. Solid game from the defense. Rudiger, Militao were putting out a lot of fires. They made some really incredible interceptions. Militao especially was really good in the air, right? And stood his ground against the tricky Ademola Lookman, who is my countryman. Yeah, himself, and at some point, especially in the second half, Cavani sort of figured out Ademola Lookman. As soon as Ademola Lookman got the first touch on the ball, before he's able to set the ball and then decide to do what he wants to do, Cavani was just stealing it from him. Whenever he escapes Cavani, there is always Militao waiting, and a very, very assured and composed performance from Militao. Really, really good to see him back to his very dependable self. Rudiger is Rudiger. I love seeing him on the left center half space. Although a lot of last season he played on the right side, but before that in Chelsea he was playing on the left side when he was paired with either Thiago Silva or Christensen. So we know he can play this role, and play this role he did well. You could see himself and Militao were throwing long balls. I don't know why they were they were doing that because yeah, okay, I think yeah, I do know why, because we know Pierre Gary Gasparini usually, and that's the coach of Atlanta, usually plays a very high line, and it will be a stupid coach that will realize that plays a high line and have the kind of attack that Real Madrid has and still not keep an eye out for those long balls. Some of them were successful, but a lot of them were not. And very solid and underrated performance from Ferland Mendy as well. I keep telling you guys, as much as I like Alphonso Davies and what he offers, because of the kind of attack that we have and the propensity for Vini Mbappe and Rodrigo to not come back. Rodrigo even defends way more than Vini and Mbappe. I would rather have a Ferland Mendy who is very, very dependable, because right now we don't even need him to. The things we were complaining about before negates itself in the fact that we now have Vini, Mbappe and Rodrigo. Ferland Mendy should just remain that defensive balance, and then right in front of Ferland Mendy he has Jude Bellingham, who offers a lot when it comes to defending. He's a workhorse. He did everything. He did absolutely everything in this game. Yeah. Let's leave Jude for now. But solid performance from Ferland Mendy. Let's come to Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni first half was below par, okay, because I expected him to really control the game himself and Federico, especially to make up for the movement of the ball from our half, efficient movement of the ball, let me say, from our half to that of Atalanta. A lot of the time, Vini, Rodrigo, and even sometimes Mbappe had to drop deep to come get the ball. So for some odd reason, that connection that we expected between those in the middle of the park and those right in front was not happening. Was not happening, and it was worrying, especially in the first half. But it got a lot better in the second half, and I think there's something missing in Tchouaméni's Arsenal, and that's he has the physicality to boss anyone, but he plays really, really gentle football. For some reason, I know this is not like a cause for alarm at all. It's not. But it basically means saying that I need him to stamp his signature and his will on the game, just like Jude did, right? Tchouaméni should be able to do that as well. Don't forget that he's not just a really efficient marker and of the ball. He's also really, really good on the ball to play long vertical passes or short, efficient passes as well. He's really, really good, and he has the cruise profile, because he played a lot like that. He played in the cruise role for France at the Euros. So I need that step up from him. It's going to be very, very good for us if it step up and take the game by the scruff of its neck sometimes. Yeah, and even I can say the same for Federico Valverde as well. I think Federico Valverde is going to score a lot of goals. If he has started like this in the first game, he's going to score a lot of goals, because basically it means that he has a lot of freedom to move forward now. And why wouldn't he have that freedom? Because we have players in front that like to hog the left-hand side. Yeah, that like to go left. They tend to go left so they can move the ball to their right and then basically interconnect. And when they do that, they drag defenders with them, which leaves space here, which would make sense if you had like a Toni Kroos on the pitch. We could swing the ball for like Carvajal or Valverde or even Lord Vasquez. May you be pleased. Yeah. So basically, that's what I felt was missing in the first and even in the second half. But in the second half, we know Mr. Jude basically took over and stamped his authority on the game. Played an amazing game. Let's go to Rodrigo. I love the work rate, especially on winning the ball for Mbappe's goal, right? But other than that, compared to the kind of influence that Mbappe and Vini had on the ball. Vini was our best player up in front, even though he didn't score, but he got that wonderful assist. I think Mbappe did well as well. He had some really amazing runs. His movement off the ball, we need to figure it out. We need to figure it out and ensure that we are really, really efficient to the point where before he makes it, there's a ball waiting there for him. Okay, because he does that sometimes, and we're still figuring out. Like, they've not gelled yet. So imagine like the potential, the things that this team could do. It's going to be massive. The things that this team could do, can achieve this year, the year after that, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And then Jude. Everybody knows I'm a big Vini fan. I want him to win the Ballon d'Or. I think he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. But Jude, oh yeah, English fans, do you guys watch the back of a TV when Jude is playing? No, because you all think because we are Madridistas and we support Real Madrid, we are biased. Do you guys watch the back of the TV? Because that's the only explanation you would have. That's the only sensible explanation you have for thinking Jude is not a generational player. And for Coulays that are, hey, Jude is a striker. Is he still a striker? Is this different from what he was doing last season? Except for, yeah, he was scoring more goals. And he had multiple chances to score goals today. Don't forget, he had multiple chances to score goals today. Is this any different? And we tell you, Jude is beyond the goals. He just transformed and it's like, okay, you know, Vini's not available. Okay, let me bail you guys out. That's why you saw that Jude. This Jude. I was like, okay, if we have opponents like this, maybe we do not miss Toni Kroos. Don't also forget that when we have a team that sits back, some of the times it's difficult for us to benefit from Toni Kroos' style of play. That's when the likes of maybe Madrid and now that we have Adagole can come in with those incisive passes that break defenses, especially defenses in low blocks. Jude was transcendent, he was magnificent, he was magical. I was like, what the? Jude. No, I knew we could do this, but I don't think you understand what happened. Let me explain to you guys. There's Rudiger, there's Militao, there's Couture, there's Mendy, there's Carvajal, who just won the Euros and did really well in that tournament. There's Tchouaméni, there's Valverde. There is Rodrigo, there is Jude, there is Vini, and then there's Mbappe. And Jude transcended all of them in his performance. He was like, okay, I decide what's going to happen in this game. The first goal, he gave the pass to Vini. The second goal, after Vini tried to find Mbappe and the ball went pass across the post, and he got the ball. And that body feint to just useless that player. And then putting the ball in the perfect spot for Mbappe to just play it in. Oh, God. Manchester could die of fun this season. It's amazing. It is amazing to see that. Your first game back. Oh my God. There's a podcaster I follow, Feza. He basically said Jude needs to change his nationality. And I don't think it's a crazy idea. Imagine this Jude playing for Spain or for Brazil that needs his kind of presence in the middle of the park. Oh my God. Anyway. That's my reaction on all the players. One more trophy in the bag, 6 more to go. Okay, I am one of those Real Madrid fans that think we necessarily do not have to do a treble. because I don't see the point. I actually like, for some odd reason, I actually like the fact that we are terrible in Copa del Rey. But if we win it, will I be sad? No, of course not. I love it. So if that happens, that's fine. Since the last time we talked, we've had multiple ACL injuries, mostly to our academy players, and the most recent of which is to Juan Martinez. Amazing player that is definitely one for the future. And I like the fact that Real Madrid has reassured him that, oh, even regardless of the fact that he's injured, they still trust in him. And I believe they should trust in him. He has that talent, he has that Jude Bellingham kind of aura, and could become the next Sergio Ramos, if not even better. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Sunday. I am looking forward to Sunday, the game against Mallorca, and then just Ramadi getting into the reading. And just lastly, yeah, I did. This was not supposed to be a talking point, but it just occurred to me that there's international break in a couple of weeks. I like to see who England's next coach is, and I would like to see the role that that Jude Bellingham plays in, because you need to play to his strengths. He's amazing. He's the best player they've got. Phil Foden is good, but Jude is the best player they've got. He's amazing. Anyway, that's it for me. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy having you guys react to it with your likes, with your subscription. And like always, till we meet again. Atalanta.